You guys might remember from prior video how we did a Ford part from other cars and an accessory to make the Bronco look that much nicer. The Ford Rally wheel that normally is supposed to be for Mach E, as well as the tire for Michelin unidirectional setup. And then we did these fenders that you can get from Ford. They come in black. We had them custom painted to match the body color. And then what we realized, if you looked at the prior video, is that the wheel stance was very buried inside the car. So by measuring what kind of spacer we need, we went with Bora's 1¼ inch based on the width of wheel and tire setup plus fender. It worked out pretty good, actually. The shop did a great job. Now, the only downside with the Bora spacer was that the studs on the spacer were longer than the standard lugs can fit. Now, one argument could have been shave down the studs of the spacer so that the lug can fit on there normally. But then the shop said, well, the galvanized studs may then be that much more prone to rusting if you start cutting them. Why don't you leave them and go with longer lugs, open-ended? This is in the Northeast where we live, so my concern was, well, if they're going to be open-ended, then what if like salt and other crap and whatever else starts accumulating inside? And wouldn't that cause corrosion or what have you? The shop was fairly confident, especially the way Bora's put together and how well galvanized the studs are, that that's not an issue. Now, it just so happened that the shop had these kind of, whatever you want to call it, oil slick color shifting studs, but it's just, it looks all right. I don't mind it, but it's just too much maybe craziness with the colors already being cactus gray, white. We got the pink accents going on, which is kind of the general theme. So instead, we're going to go with the Mutekis that are pink. So hopefully this is actually going to fit. This is the Muteki setup that we got. Open-ended lugs in pink. This is how it comes. You can get them, well, really all over the place. The adapter, and then the open-ended lugs themselves, which look like so. Let me just dig this out. So it should be interesting. We're going to try to put this on. The thread, by the way, should be 1½ size, not 1¼ If there are any issues with any of this, then we'll certainly let you guys know, but we're going to give these a shot. Interesting call out that, well, depending on how OCD you are, I know like I am. So Muteki has this adapter that's provided with the lugs, but it's all great, but depending on how picky you are with your wheels, I am much more of a fan of trying to use an attachment like these that you can buy in a bunch of auto stores that have this like hard plastic surround to prevent the wheel finish from getting accidentally scratched. So you could certainly use the adapter, but in this case we're not going to. We're just going to go straight with a 17mm one of these to be able to work the lugs onto the studs. There's the side-by-side comparison. I'll do the same on the sunnier side, but just in the shade, what the difference is. There's the completed wheel that's in the shade with the new color. Love it or hate it, it is what it is. Here is the sunny side. Here's the sunny wheel. And we got our thing here installed. We have the lugs fully on. Just the color pops different. Same length as the other ones that the shop gave us. You still have on the inside still like a decent amount of room in there, so technically the studs for the spacer could be even longer. They're the same length, the lugs, as the ones from the shop. I don't know if they make the open-ended lugs any shorter if you prefer that look. Also, you could theoretically go closed capped as opposed to open-ended. I don't know about that particular scenario, but I guess we'll see how this survives through the winter. And there it is, the new lugs in pink, Mutekis, put on to align with our color scheme. Looks decent. We'll drive around, tighten this up as needed, and go from there.